Hi everyone, this is Simeon from Swedish Homestead. It's an absolutely beautiful day here on the homestead. We have a little powdery snow on the ground. It is a clear blue sky, and it is far from being spring and the start of the growing season. Actually, that is still 3 months away where we live here, even though we have had an extremely mild winter. But the last nights have been about close to -10, when during the day it's around freezing. But this is the right time for me to make a video about microclimates, because you can spy on your homestead, on your land right now when there's this much snow, where the sun has already the strength to melt it away, where there are some warmer spots, and what kind of things create more warmth for your garden, for example. So that's what this video is going to be about. So as you can see here, there is snow on the ground here still, light powdery snow. And here you have a rock wall and this big old wild cherry tree behind me. And this has created a microclimate that has melted almost all the snow in front of it here. In fact, when spring comes, you will be able to see that grass starts growing in these spots by the rock walls and underneath the trees first. The rocks take a longer time to warm up by the sun, but then they radiate the heat longer into the cool night. The wood and the old long grass is the first stuff that warms up really fast. Here you can see my parents built a fence. This is my mom's garden right behind here, and these hazelnut trees that are horizontally woven into this fence, they create such a heat. Right now they're actually warm, even though you can feel it, even though it's around freezing outside and no snow is left here. It's all melted. Right here in front of us you can see my parents' house with some old plum trees and the birdhouse, the bird feeder there underneath, and all the snow is melted there. And this is right next to our kitchen garden. You see this to the left here. And the kitchen garden still has some snow on it, but here the trees, underneath the trees and close to the house, all the snow is gone. Here I am on the kitchen garden, and we put this firewood here, and it is right now warm. This is probably room temperature. It feels incredible. And this wood that heats up much quicker than rocks warms up very fast, and you see all the snow in front of this wall is melted. Then if I found rocks that were in my way when I did some work here in the garden, I just put them in front of this wall here, because the wood warms up quickly, which warms up the rocks in return, that will radiate heat longer in the evening. And then it is the middle of February right now, around freezing, but I could sit here, actually there's no wind, I could sit here in a t-shirt right now and soaking up the vitamin D that we've been lacking in this dark Swedish winter. It's beautiful, absolutely amazing. So we're trying to create this microclimate by putting this wall here, shelter for the plants from wind, and it keeps the heat on the garden more. Here you can see that we've planted a little hedge, and even here these are really warm to the touch already, and all the snow's melted here. It's very dry, which shows you that it just warms up quickly and it dries off, and this is also beautiful. Plus in the summertime you have lots of insects, and just the biodiversity increases if you have a hedge like this planted. Here you see where we have some herbs that now have died off for the winter. Some of them are going to grow back, some of them we have to replant. But I've put these rocks here just to produce more heat and save up more heat in the growing season, and warm it up and radiate it to these Mediterranean herbs here that are growing. And you know, now is a really good time for me to look at it and see there is still a whole bunch of snow here. So I could probably improve this, probably by making a little kind of like this wooden fence I showed you earlier. Just put it behind the rocks here. That would tremendously increase just how warm this would be. I don't know if you can see it, but in the background there's another hedge, and all the snow is melted right by that hedge there. Now, trees in general is an amazing thing to look at in nature, how it works there. And there's actually a gardening system that some people not far from here implement, where they try to replace smaller plants in the forest with smaller vegetables and bigger plants in the forest with bigger vegetables, and just use that kind of environment to naturally, on a permaculture basis, grow their vegetables. Now you see under this tree and the big tree in the background, those fruit trees, all the snow is melted. The heat stays under these branches, even though there are not even leaves on there, and there won't be for another 3 months. And this is, I just love to study this, you know. We have had a long dark winter. Usually it's cold and lots of snow and ice, except for this winter. And then you just start looking around at the microclimates. Where is the snow melting first? Where's the ice melting? That's where you sit down with a chair and sit in the sun. And this is a bit early to talk about planting and all of that, but it just shows you a little bit what you can learn from nature, just how it goes naturally. Now, if you go to the sides of the field on our property where the forest starts, by the rock walls and where the dark wood is and the branches, the bark, it just warms up so quickly. And now with this mild winter, we had a lot of maple trees. Very soon from now, not too long from now, we could start to get some sap from these trees. Here we are in our orchard, and here right in front of this tree there's still a little pile of wood chips, and this pile generates heat inside a few inches down from the surface, and then it also, because it's a little bump here, a little pile, the sunlight hits it at a different angle and it melts much quicker. So even with a row of wood chips, it creates more heat, both in front of it here and by the pile. For the rest is all covered in snow, as you can see. So here you see snow in front of me, and you have this big spruce tree, and you have this red stable with this typical Swedish red paint on it, and all the snow is melted here. And there's actually a garden that's done very professionally at a old castle from medieval times, not far from here, where several really good gardeners grow vegetables, and it's open for the public. You can come there, and they have surrounded their garden by a wooden wall painted with this color, just because it heats up so well and radiates the heat. And I just love this. And you have to find the balance there, because the trees, they will also put shadow on your garden, and they will also suck out liquid. But if you do it the right way and you do it on a permaculture basis, it opens up the doors. You know, you have a no-dig garden, and it opens up the doors for you to actually plant some bushes and trees in your garden, because the roots won't be disturbed because you don't till. And you know, I just walk over the property. I try to find mimic nature, see what I can implement in my garden, and I hope you get inspired to do the same thing. You know, now is the time before this really busy growing season starts. So I just want to encourage you to do that. I hope you liked me just showing you around a little bit, the observations I make and what to do. I'm right now thinking, you know, will I plant a hedge? Will I maybe put up some boards as a wall with this red color? What will I do? And you will probably be able to see on the video what I have come up with. But I'm really excited for this. And here in Sweden we have to do anything we can to make the growing season longer, earlier in the spring and later in the fall. So I hope you will be with us for when the growing season starts. It's going to be really exciting. See you in the next video, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Bye bye.